Hello and welcome to this Action Research Overview. The premise of teacher induction is based on action research. The idea of acting on data and reflecting on results is the best way to improve your practice. Everything you do for this program is a small piece that moves you through the various action research cycles. In the induction program, the action research process is also known as the Plan, Teach, Reflect, Apply cycle. It is a process in which you examine your practice by looking at data, developing an area of focus, creating a plan of action to address the area of focus, acting on that plan, and then reflecting on the results. Action research is not a research project where you go to the library. It's not focusing on what is wrong. It isn't about correct answers. And it's not even writing a paper. Action research is really about focusing on ways to continuously improve practice by looking at the evidence around you and taking action. I like to think of action research as teaching someone to fish rather than simply providing the fish. When you're a master in action research, you will be able to address most any issue by looking at the evidence and taking action in a way that effectively addresses the issue. This program's formative assessment is based on 3 modules that fit into the action research cycle. The initial cycle focuses on collecting data. This data leads to an area of focus where you can act on it and examine the results. So the initial cycle, the data collection, includes context for teaching and learning and assessment of teaching and learning. Following the initial cycle is inquiry into teaching and learning, where you focus on areas of growth. So you will begin the initial cycle of data collection with context for teaching and learning. Together with your support provider's assistance, you will begin collecting data about your students and develop a student profile. You'll also learn more about your school and district, such as the calendar, discipline policy, staff directory, and so on. Lastly, you'll collect information regarding resources available to you, your students, and their families. At the end of this data collection, you and your support provider will discuss how all this information will be used to inform instruction and increase student achievement. You'll continue the data collection cycle in assessment of teaching and learning. Here, you'll identify what you know, what you want to know, and what you want your support provider to observe in your classroom as it relates to your teaching practice. If you're completing year 2 of induction, you'll identify the impact your year 1 inquiry continues to make on your teaching practice and student learning. After your support provider observes your classroom, together then you will reflect on the observation and any insights you've gained. This will be followed by self-assessments. These self-assessments allow you to reflect on your current teaching practice in relation to the CSTPs. Now that all the data has been collected, it's time to look into an area in which you'd like to improve your practice. The initial data collection cycles have led you to this full action research cycle, the inquiry. When you bring together what you've learned about your students and community, given what you know about your strengths and your areas of growth, what do you feel is an area to focus on for the next 6 to 8 weeks? You'll develop a focus question and an action plan, collect and analyze data, and reflect upon the impact on your teaching practice and student achievement. Remember, in the induction program, the action research process is also known as Plan, Teach, Reflect, Apply. It's a process in which you examine your practice by looking at data, develop an area of focus, create an action plan to address that focus area, act on that plan, and then reflect on the results. The goal is to develop a mindset where action research is the norm and you're always striving to plan, teach, reflect, apply. For more information regarding action research, you can visit the Center for Collaborative Action Research at Pepperdine University or the Education Alliance at Brown University. Thank you.